All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you all so much for coming. My name is Nicholas Govus. I am the director of tonight's performance of Twisted Tales of Poe, a live radio play written by Philip Grecian and based on the works of Edgar Allan Poe. I want to thank Green Room eBoard for their help making this show possible, as well as my production team, and especially Debra Thayer, who will be running sound for tonight's performance. The show runs just about an hour with no intermission, and our program can be found. I'm going to send a link into the chat now, which you can follow to the program, which you are free to peruse at your leisure. There you are. Okay. Without further ado, I present Twisted Tales of Poe. Enjoy.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Broadcasting from the Green Room Studios, it's Theater of the Mind, a radio play you can almost see, written by Philip Grecian and based on the works of Edgar Allan Poe. Turn out your lights and move in close to the glow of your radio dial for Twisted Tales of Poe.
What time is it?
Why do you care?
Why shouldn't I care? I do care.
The women would know.
Maybe.
Anybody awake over there?
What do you want?
They are awake. Move up closer, maybe we can see them.
Hey, over there!
What?
Come up to the bars. Up in the corner, all of you. We can maybe see each other.
Why not? Sure.
Ah, there you are. What time is it?
How should we know?
Is it still daylight?
Who cares?
You've got a window.
Not much of a window. Too high and narrow. Can't look out.
I'd give anything to have a window. To see the sun.
You'll see it soon enough. I've heard them building the gallows out in the yard.
Comes to that, we'll all see it soon enough.
We've all got that in common.
Murder, you mean?
I had no choice.
Of course you didn't. Hey,
What?
move out where I can see you. That's good. Anybody else awake over there? Just the poet.
The poet?
The quiet one.
Oh, poet, huh?
Catalepsy. The guard told me.
Which one?
The one that brings the food.
Oh, I like him.
What'd he say?
Told me yesterday the quiet one's a poet. I think it was yesterday.
Doesn't move, doesn't speak, just stares.
Mad?
No.
Not like some.
What are you saying? Do you think mad?
What I think doesn't matter, love. You'll hang all the same.
Why will you say I'm mad? Well, certainly I have disease. A condition of the senses that sharpen them. Above all, the sense of hearing.
I see.
No, truly. It's become acute. I hear all things in heaven and earth. I hear many things in hell. Madness? No. It's my condition. My curse. Let me tell you how calmly I can tell my story. Like a person not mad.
Very well.
It's impossible to say how the idea first came to me. But once it did, it haunted me.
You hated him.
No, I loved the old man. He had never wronged me.
Then why did you kill him? Money?
No, I never took money. It wasn't for his money.
And what?
His eye.
His eyes? But what did...
No, only one of his eyes, only one. It was larger than the other and pale blue with a film over it. An evil eye. It saw me, I know it did. It wanted to destroy me. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold. I made up my mind to kill it. To take its life and end the evil.
Kill the eye?
Yes, but to do that I had to kill the old man. There was no other way. I didn't hate the old man, I loved him. But...
You truly are mad. A lunatic.
No, a lunatic knows nothing. But I know everything. I was careful. I planned it out carefully. Can a lunatic do that?
I don't see why not.
I had been engaged to nurse the old man through his illness. You must know that I was never kinder to him than during the week I killed him. I would see to his needs during the day and then go to my own home in the evening. But that week, every night that week, at midnight, I would return. I would creep into his house and quietly steal up to the door of his room. I would open the door, so gently, and put in a dark lantern, close it up so that no light shone out. Then I would put in my head, slowly, so as to not disturb the old man's sleep. I could see him in the moonlight through the window, see him upon his bed. I would undo the lantern so that a single thin ray fell upon that eye, that vulture eye, but every night it was closed, so it was impossible to do my work.
Your work?
It wasn't the old man who vexed me, it was that eye, that evil eye, but for 5 nights it was not there, you see? It was closed, asleep, and I was safe from it. Once I knew this, I would creep out, leave the house and go to my own apartment, but every morning then, I would go back to his house and into his chamber. Good morning.
Good morning, my friend.
And did you sleep well?
Tolerable well, thank you.
Good. I've brought you breakfast.
No, I'll have a cup of tea. That will be enough.
Nonsense, I won't hear of it. Sit up.
Oh, you have a good heart. You're so good to me.
Let me fluff up your pillows then. There we are. Ease back. There. How's that?
Excellent. It does my heart good to see how you care.
Now, here's the tray. You see, look out now. We'll set it across your lap. There.
The aroma.
Wait till you see. Sausage and eggs.
Sausage and eggs. A meal after my own heart.
There's more. Bread fresh from the oven, toasted and buttered.
You baked this?
I did, and churned the butter as well.
You've gone to such trouble. It warms my heart to see how you look after me.
And here.
Oranges?
And melon. Fresh from the market this morning.
Melon, you fulfill my heart's every desire.
And tea. Here you are.
Just smell that.
A breakfast fit for a king, eh?
Aye, a hearty breakfast indeed.
Of course. Eat it all. You must keep up your strength.
I'll take what you say to heart, my friend. Come back in an hour, and there'll not be a single scrap left on the tray.
Very good. Till then.
Till then.
You see? You see? It was that way each morning after my midnight visits for a week. But then, in the 8th night, I came along the street, climbed the steps to his front door, in quickly so as to not be seen by anyone on the street. Then, at the stairs to his door. I was more than usually cautious in opening the door. I knew that this would be the night. I could feel it. He moved, as if startled.
He awoke? Did you...
Hush! Hush! Now, you may think I drew back, but no. His room was filled thick with darkness, for there was no moon.
The light from the hallway?
There was none, and my lantern was shuttered. I simply kept pushing on the door, slowly, for I knew he could not see it. And then, just as I was prepared to open the shutters of the lantern...
Who's there?
He was awake.
Hush! Yes, but he could not see. For a whole hour I did not move a muscle.
He went back to sleep?
I knew he was sitting up in the bed, listening.
I've done that. Awakened at night. Just listened.
But I was quiet, you see. Would a lunatic have been quiet?
Well, but you...
Hush! Hush!
What?
Do you hear? Hush! There it is again. You know what it is?
What?
It is a groan of mortal terror. The low, stifled sound that arises from the bottom of the soul. Many a midnight it has welled up from my own bosom, deepening with its dreadful echo. Terrors that had awakened me.
Terrors?
Terrors! And he knew then what the old man felt. I knew he had been lying awake ever since the first slight noise. And he knew...
What?
That he knew. That he knew death lurked just past his reach in the stinking darkness beyond his bed, and I knew that I was to be the instrument of his death.
Huh, madness.
No, not mad, I'm not.
Who is there?
How could he...
Hush. You give me a voice, silence.
Hello? Hello? Wind in the chimney. Just a mouse. A cricket. Hello?
When I had waited, patiently, without hearing him lie down, I resolved to open the shutters on the lantern. Only a bit. Just a very, very little crevice. A single thin ray, like the thread of spider, shot from the lamp and fell upon that vulture eye, and it was open. Huge and dull blue, with a hideous veil that chilled very marrow in my bones. That eye, that awful eye, that evil eye, it saw me. I know it did. And then I heard the sound.
The sound?
I have said that what you mistake for my madness is an acuteness of the senses.
You have said that, yes.
Knowing this, you must believe me when I say there came to my ears a low, dulled, quick sound. a watch makes when wrapped in cotton. I knew that sound.
You knew it?
It was beating at the old man's heart. Hear it? Hear it? Boom, 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 boom. It increased my fury. It was all I could do to keep still. I scarcely breathed. I held the lamp upon that eye, that wicked eye, that evil eye. The beating of his heart increased as fast as thought, as loud as drums. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. My horror rose. It saw, it knew. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. That evil eye, that faltered too. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. I prayed the old man's heart will burst. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. The eye it sees, my soul is cursed. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. The windows shattered, the walls come apart. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. That evil eye, that horrible heart. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. I hear it crash and throb and thrum. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. Old man's hour has finally come. I removed the pillow from his face. The old man was dead. Closed his eyes, pulled the lid over the evil eye, the dead evil eye. He would trouble me no more. I worked quickly, for I had planned it all carefully. Could a lunatic plan so carefully? Think not. My disease has sharpened my senses, but this is a benefit, is it not? I can see more colors in the spectrum than any other living being. I knew the scent of everyone and everything that had ever been in that old house. I could hold a length of linen in my fingers and count its threads. Catalogue each simple flavor in the complex taste of a wine, and even hear the tiny creatures in the walls. The rats in the attic. Hear them breathe. No, I'm far from mad, and had planned well, for you see, I'd brought a toolbox during the daylight hours and concealed it in the closet in the corridor. Sun was rising, so I could not carry the old man outside to the street, but I had not planned that in any case. I dragged the old man to the bath and threw him into the tub, where I dismembered him. I stripped to the skin so as to avoid getting blood on my clothing. I spread butcher's paper on the floor, and I spent the next several hours engaged in dissection. Legs, arms, head. Nice, neat packages, you see? I planned everything. Does that sound like something a lunatic would do? I took out the flooring in the old man's chamber near the big window, which had been careful to cover. And I put the pieces, each one carefully wrapped between the scantlings. And they fit, as if the spaces had been built for them. And you see, again, more planning, more care. I neatly tucked the old man in, as I had done so many times before. And then I covered him with the counterpane of flooring, putting it all back as it had been. I replaced the boards so cleverly, so cunningly, that no human eye, not even his, could have detected anything. It is so close to the window, where the sun shone in, brightly. Then I gathered out the butcher's paper from the floor around the tub, taking care so as to not spill any of the blood. And I burned it in the fireplace. Paper and blood incinerating and flying up the chimney and away. It was good fire. Steady, healthy blaze. The old man would have liked it. He always enjoyed a cozy fire. I was sorry he wasn't there to see it. When I made an end to his labors, I went home.
And slept?
Deeply. And here's where I was clever. Where I planned, not something a lunatic would do. I knew that someone would miss the old man. There were those who knew that I was his caretaker and would be suspicious of me.
Aye, sooner or later there'd be a report of a missing person.
And who would be the most logical to file that report with the police, huh? Who?
Well, you, but
Yes, yes. And if I didn't do that, if the one who saw the old man every day wasn't the one to report him missing, would that be very suspicious?
it would, yes.
So how can you call me mad? I reported him missing, you see? Everything planned. I waited one full day on reporting him missing. Then I went to his house and waited for the police. Ah, the police, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Inspector Talbot, and this is my associate, Officer Simpson.
Ma'am?
Yes, come in, come in.
Now, ma'am, you say your employer has gone missing.
Yes, I'm so worried. He wasn't in his room when I came in this morning.
His room?
Yes, in his bed.
And that's where you saw him last? In his bed?
Yes, he was in his bed when I left last evening.
I see.
He isn't strong, you know. Simply closing the room tires him. Spends most of his time in his bed, so when
Is he ill?
My employer is a man of advanced years, and his health is not good.
And he wasn't in his room this morning?
No.
And you've touched nothing?
In the room?
Yes.
No. When I found that he was gone, I notified your offices immediately. Would you like to see the room?
Please.
Of course. This way, gentlemen.
What is the nature of your employment, ma'am, if I might ask?
I'm his caretaker. His nurse.
But you don't live on the premises.
No. Oh, no. Here we are.
A very nice room, if I may say so.
Yes, it is.
These glass figures, here on the bureau.
Porcelain. Very valuable.
Not likely to have been a burglary, then?
Indeed not.
Please, gentlemen, be seated.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'll get a chair for myself and put it here, near the window.
You've been through the house? Nothing missing?
No, nothing. Here, sit here.
And you touched nothing here before calling us?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing. No, nothing.
The bed is made. Do you find that odd?
Excuse me?
The bed.
Yes.
It's been made.
Well, yes.
You touched nothing.
No, nothing. I touched. What was that?
What?
You didn't. There it is again. Surely you heard that.
No, I heard nothing.
Never mind then. It's gone now.
You said your master was bedridden.
Oh, yes.
And that he was easily fatigued. You have that note, Simpson?
Yes, sir. He isn't strong, you know. Simply crossing the room tires him. He spends most of his time in bed.
Well, yes, quite so.
And you said he was in his bed when you last saw him.
I did? I'm not sure I said.
Simpson?
And that's where you saw him last? In his bed? Yes, he was in his bed when I left last evening.
Can't you hear that?
I'm sorry.
I asked if you could hear that.
No. Simpson?
No, sir.
I'd have sworn
So you can imagine my confusion.
Your confusion.
Yes. The bed is made.
I do much of the tidying up. I made the bed last night when I left.
No, ma'am. He was in his bed when you left last evening. I've got it right down here in the book.
Well, he was. I mean, I could have.
It may mean nothing,
Nothing.
but the bed has been made.
Yes.
When you last saw your master, he was
Yes.
lying in it.
He was. I said, you don't. I never said that. I meant to say. Perhaps it will be best if you came back another. You must understand. I am overwrought. Why will you not be gone? What can I do? Did you hear it? You're mocking me. You suspect. You know, don't you? You know? You're putting me through this agony. Keep bear this no longer. I'm scream or die. Hurt. Louder. Here. Here it is. I confess. It is his heart. It is the beating of his hideous heart.
A madman, who can say? But a murderer you are nonetheless. Ah, well, let us return to Twisted Tales of Poe.
Ah, but Montresor has awakened. Was it a nice nap, my friend?
It was, yes.
Some of us are telling our stories. Do you have a story for us?
I'm more sinned against than sinning.
You didn't murder then?
More correctly, I eliminated, I executed, I disposed of a pestilence, amputated a diseased portion from the body human.
Your story.
You must tell it.
Tell your story.
1,000 injuries of Fortunato I had borne as best I could, but when he ventured upon insult, I vowed revenge.
Revenge?
Revenge that could not be traced back to me. A wrong is not avenged when retribution overtakes its avenger.
What insult did he visit upon you?
I prefer not to discuss it. Suffice it to say, I had the family motto to uphold. Nemo me impune lacessit.
No enemy goes unpunished.
More accurately, no one attacks me with impunity. And, though I vowed revenge, neither by word nor deed did I give Fortunato cause to doubt my goodwill. I smiled each time I saw him, and he misunderstood my smile for one of friendship. But, in truth, it was in contemplation of his destruction. Fortunato, you see, took great pride in his knowledge of wines. This was the bait. The timing of it was perfect, for it was the season of Carnival. The streets were full of costumed revelers, music and mirth, parades and pageant. The wine flowed in cataracts. One evening, during the supreme madness, just at dusk, I, costumed as Mephistopheles, encountered Fortunato, suitably intoxicated and dressed appropriately as a king's fool, his headdress trimmed in tiny bells.
Monsieur
Montresor!
My dear Fortunato, how remarkably well you are looking today.
And you as well.
You are ill?
A slight cold. It's nothing. I can stay but a moment. I have an engagement.
As do I.
Yes? Where are you off to?
I have received a cask of what passes for Amontillado.
Amontillado? Ah,
That is what the wine merchant told me, in any case.
indeed. Amontillado? A cask? Impossible.
You mustn't scold me for not consulting you. I was fearful of losing the bargain.
Amontillado?
As I say, I have my doubts.
Amontillado?
And as I knew you were busy entertaining during the carnival season, I am on my way to consult with Lucchesi about it.
Lucchesi?
I've heard some say that his taste is a match for your own.
Nonsense. Come, let us go.
Go? Go where?
To your vaults. I must give my expert opinion on your Amontillado.
I won't hear of it. You have an engagement, and I'm sure Lucchesi.
I have no engagement. Come.
No, my friend. My wine cellar is so damp. You're cold.
The cold is nothing. And Lucchesi cannot distinguish Amontillado from Manzanilla.
But
a pretender to my throne. Come, take my arm and let us away to your palazzo.
here we are, Fortunato. A moment while I find my key.
Nonsense. I'll ring the bell. Your man will let us in.
Not tonight, I fear, dear Fortunato. The servants are out.
Huh? Ah, of course. Carnival. Let's shoot.
May God bless you.
Thank you.
Ah, here is my key. Welcome to my home.
Yes. Where's your wine cellar?
First, a small glass of port to toast to our friendship.
I don't...
Please, here.
Oh, very well.
To friendship.
To friendship. Done. Achoo! Now, your cellar.
This way.
Lucchesi, indeed. Lucchesi is a pig.
Here. Take this torch. Take care. The cellar is damp and the steps slippery. Got you. You see? I warned you.
You saved my life. I might have fallen and broken my neck.
Well, it wouldn't do to have you die that way, would it? One more step. Ah, here we are, my friend, the catacombs of the Montresor family, filled with wine and the bones of ancestors. God bless you.
Oh, thank you.
A serious cough, my friend.
It's nothing.
This cellar is so damp. It wouldn't do to have you catch your death down here. Not this way. Come, we'll go back.
No.
But your health is precious. You are rich, respected, admired, happy, as I once was. You would be missed. I will see Lucchese about the Amontillado.
No. The cough is the cough is a mere nothing. It will not kill me. I shall not die of a cough.
True. Ah, here. A drink of this medoc will defend us from the damps.
Yes, just the thing. But how is this? This is so important, and flagons are ready.
Who can say? But it is our good fortune, eh?
Aye, our good fortune. To the dead who repose around us.
And those to come.
Indeed.
That should serve to quell your cough, I think. And if it does not, there are other remedies forthcoming.
Excellent. But the Amontillado, where is the Amontillado?
Farther down the passage.
Bring the bottle.
Of course, come.
These vaults are expensive.
The Montresors were a great and numerous family.
I forget your family motto.
Nemo me impune lacessit.
Yes, of course. No enemy attacks me without receiving punishment. And the coat of arms?
A human foot of gold in a field azure. The foot crushes the serpent rampant, whose fangs are embedded in the heel.
The snake exacts retribution.
Indeed he does. We are below the riverbed now. You see? The moisture trickles among the bones. Oh, your cough. We should turn back before it is too late.
No. Perhaps another flagon full of medoc?
The bottle is for you, my friend.
Oh, you're not having more?
I haven't your discerning palate. I'm saving my own for Amontillado. I do not wish to confuse the flavors. All the more for you, eh?
Excellent. Are you of the Brotherhood?
I'm sorry?
Mason. Are you a Mason?
Oh, yes, I am.
Oh, give me a sign then.
Of course. Here. I've been carrying it with me, here, beneath my cape.
A trowel? Why did you carry a trowel?
The working tool of a master mason.
Huh? Oh, you jest.
Perhaps not so much as you might imagine.
Excuse me?
Yes, I jest. A jest for a jester.
For a jest. My costume. Yes, a jest for a jester. You devil. You see, you devil. Your own costume.
Indeed, and a fooling for a fool.
Eh? Chester. The bells. The fool.
Fool. Shall we move along then?
Yes. The Amontillado. Your my balance is uncertain, and these damp floors. Uh,
Yes, certainly.
Just for the gesture. Fool for the fool.
And down these steps. Oh, careful now.
Careful. Shh. Mustn't wake the dead.
The dead will not wake. We are deep enough that the living would never hear.
Never hear. Never hear. Oh, my torch burns low.
There isn't much oxygen down here, you see, and the air is foul.
Most foul indeed. The Amontillado.
Just in here, into this small vault.
Oh, you've hidden it well.
Well, of course, Amontillado after all.
We shall see. We shall see. Lucchese. Ha!
Careful of the bones.
Bones. Piles of bones. Bones. Oh, the Amontillado. Where?
Here, in this small recess. Step through the hole in the masonry. It's not very deep. You won't have to go far. Step up and over. That's right. Watch your head going in.
Up and over. Up, over. Watch my head. Step. Where is the Montado? Where?
Put your arms up here, if you please.
My arms up. Come.
No, my friend, I need only reach in to fasten the cuffs. Ah, it is done.
Where is
It is a fine little niche you occupy in my family's history, is it not? Small and mean, and eventually completely forgotten. How appropriate.
What are you doing? Let me go.
This dampness is no good at all for your cough. Well, I must go. Are you coming? No? Very well. Allow me then to see to your privacy.
What are you?
See here? Beneath this pile of my ancestors' bones, we find mortar and building stones. They should fit nicely in this opening between us. Now, where did I put my secret sign? Ah, here it is, the mason's trowel. To work, then. I truly do have an appointment later tonight.
But the Amontillado.
Oh, yes, the Amontillado. Do you see the cask in there with you?
No, I don't. I don't see it.
Ah, well then, I suspect that it does not exist after all. I believe, my friend, that your intoxication will be cured quickly. Fear will do that. The cough will die with its master, I think. Fear not, Fortunato. These are new chains and very strong. I've threaded them through iron staples, driven into the solid granite wall behind you. Can you see? You will have occasion to admire the craftsmanship of that, I believe. It took me some little time.
I don't understand, but...
And the iron cuffs, closed with new padlocks.
Let me out! Let me go!
No, I'm afraid not, my friend. It has taken too much planning to get you there.
But, Montresor, please. I have always been your friend.
You have never been my friend, and you have wounded me more times than I may count.
But whatever I have said or done, so minor that I can't.
There will be time, Fortunato, to contemplate how willingly you have followed me here, to consider the role you have played, eagerly played, in your own death. Finished, then? As luck would have it, so am I. You see, a wall of stone and mortar to seal your vault, and your fate. I could do better with more time, but it will suffice. Only one more stone to fit into place. Look once more, Fortunato, before the window is closed for good.
A very good joke indeed. An excellent jest. We will have many a rich laugh about this, won't we, my friend?
I will, in any case, yes.
We will speak of this often at the palazzo and laugh over our wine.
Or Amontillado.
Yes, Amontillado. But it is late, and they will be waiting me at the palazzo. The Lady Fortunato and the rest. And oh, well, I forgot. You haven't. She's no longer. Well, I must go now.
Yes, you must. Allow me to put in this last stone, then.
For the love of God, Montresor!
Yes, for the love of God! Ah, finished. Oh, what's this? Fortunato's cap of bells. He has left it behind. I'll leave it at Carnival. No doubt another fool can put it to use. Oh, look at the time. Fortunato, will you come with me? No. Very well, then. Farewell, my friend. Watch for snakes. Nemo me impune lacessit, in pace requiescat.
The love of God, Montresor!
So, retribution overtook the Avenger. Say, what was the point of your revenge after all? Ah, well, let us continue with our tale as we finish tonight's story. back to Twisted Tales of Poe.
So, Montresor, you still claim you didn't murder?
I still claim it. The last time I saw Fortunato, he was alive.
And?
And when the authorities found him, some little time later, he was not.
Seems we all deserve what we get at the end.
Yes.
Even you.
Even I.
Doesn't talk much. That other one.
The poet? Never. As I said, catalepsy.
He hasn't told you his story then?
Certainly not. He can't.
Think there's anything going on behind his eyes?
Perhaps. He might be contemplating his future, reliving his past, imagining a present.
Well, who can say what he's thinking? Locked away inside himself?
Indeed. Who can say?
My deepest sympathies, my boy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Goodbye then, and, well, if I can do anything for you.
Yes, thank you.
Charles and I want you to know that we're here if you need anything.
Anything at all, just, well, you know how we
worry about you, and...
Yes? Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
yes, well, good night then. Good night.
Good night.
Whew, my, it's grown quite cold out.
Bundle up warm, dear. Bundle up warm. Storm coming.
Oh, it was a lovely ceremony.
Yes, it was.
She would have. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night, then.
Good night, Helen. Thank you.
You have enough to keep yourself busy.
Yes. Yes. I have some research. I'll spend some time in the library, going over my books, making notes.
Yes, of course. Lose yourself in scholarship.
That's right.
No sense blaming yourself, you know.
No. I wasn't.
Her heart wasn't strong.
No.
And the burden your relationship put upon her.
Burden?
Oh, you know. The turmoil.
Turmoil.
And the worry, of course. Well, we all worry about those we love, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Some are simply too fragile for it. Well, don't stay up too late then.
No, I'll be in bed by midnight.
And don't feel guilty. Don't feel the least guilt.
No, I...
Well, good night then. And once again, my heartfelt sympathies.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Good night, everyone! Good night. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore. While I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, "tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more." Distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow. Sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. So that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. That it is, and nothing more." Presently, my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is, I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that scarce was sure I heard you." Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore." This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter. When, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door. Perched upon a bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird, beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. "Though thy crest be shorn and shapely grim, an ancient raven, whose name is Night's Plutonian shore," quoth the raven. "Nevermore." Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore, for we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on that placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, Not a feather then he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what it utters is its only stock and store. Caught from some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore of never, never more. But the raven, still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then, upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er she shall press nevermore.
No sense blaming yourself, you know.
Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer swung by seraphim, whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite, and nepent from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepent, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Her heart wasn't strong.
Prophet, said I, thing of evil. Prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent, or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted. Tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
The excitement you brought to her.
Prophet, said I, thing of evil. Prophet still, if bird or devil. By the heaven that bends above us, by the God we both adore. Tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aden it shall clasp a sainted maiden whom the angels name Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Some are simply too fragile for it.
Be that word our sign in parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked, upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, and the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, and his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.
Murder of a different sense, I suppose. That concludes tonight's unfolding of The Twisted Tales of Poe, presented to you by Green Room Studio, a live radio studio. We wish you a good night and pleasant dreams.